Hello, welcome to another episode of Wild Living with Sunny. I'd like to introduce you to a very wise plant, good for food, medicine, and utility when used in a respectful way. This is elder, known in Latin as Sambucus mexicana, known by the Chumash as the heartbeat tree, and loved by the gypsies for granting wishes. Asking this tree to grant you a wish, but make sure and be careful what you wish for. I'd like you to notice the compound leaf structure, each individual leaflet having a jagged edge to it. There are two edible parts to this plant. The first being its white flowering tops, which you can harvest. I like to make a tempura batter, dip them in, and fry them up, and they're quite good. Our second edible part are these blue colored berries. They are not good to eat raw. You need to either dehydrate, dry them, or cook them to inactivate a compound that can actually make some people feel quite nauseated. So we're going to harvest some up, head to the kitchen and cook them up and see what Chef Bob can create. When harvesting the berries, you'll want to use a knife, clippers, or scissors to just cut behind where the umbel comes together, like that. Make sure that you put them into a plastic container that you don't mind getting stained, and be sure to wash your hands before putting them to your mouth. Again, because they do contain a chemical that can make you nauseous when eaten raw.
So we're back in the kitchen and we're going to make a wonderful elderberry sauce this evening with our dinner, which is also going to feature a wonderful pork chops, which I brushed with a little bit of oil, sea salt, and the wild pepper mix. We grilled them a little bit to sear them and to give them a little marking, and now we're going to place them in a 350-degree oven for approximately 30 minutes. Another feature on our evening dinner meal this evening is a duet of nasturtium and buckwheat spätzle. Spätzle is a German type of dumpling, and we're doing this in a very old-fashioned manner, where we have a common Hassel colander, which you usually strain your pasta with, and some slightly simmering water with a little bit of olive oil and sea salt. What you want to do is take your spätzle batter and pour it into the colander and just press it through. The batter will start going through all the holes, and they'll slightly cook it and form little dumplings in the simmering water. So as you see, our gnocchis have slowly simmered and they're floating to the surface. This is when they are ready. What you want to do is take a strainer, fish them off the surface, and just place them in a bowl of ice water. This will cool them down so that they do not overcook and become tough. So now we're going to make our elderberry sauce. In a saucepan we combined elderberries, some orange juice and zest, some agave honey, and dried spice bush berries. We're going to now take them and simmer them for about 15 to 20 minutes till it reduces the sauce, is slightly thick, and develops a really rich red color. So we're ready to plate our delicious, wonderful dinner this evening. We've reheated our spätzle up in a little bit of whole butter, sea salt, and our wonderful wild red pepper mix. Our pork chops, which have been in the oven now for approximately 30 minutes, are ready to go. And our special featured guest this evening, our wonderful ruby red elderberry sauce.
Oh, look at that. You think we'll get really wise eating that? Alright, so Chef Bob showed us one way to use the elderberries, but there are many different ways. The elderberries are really going off here in Southern California right now, so we want to be able to harvest them up and preserve them so we can use them throughout the year. So what I'm going to do here is actually make some syrup. So I've got my elderberries in the pot, and I've got a big tub of water. I'm going to pour them in, pour in the water, let it cook for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then I'm going to strain off the berries. All right, so I've had the elderberries cooking kind of at a low to medium heat for 40 minutes. And then I put this cheesecloth on and I'm going to strain off the juice. And I just want to make sure that the elderberries themselves don't go in the juice. I want to have a nice clean product. And I can either take this juice and just bottle it as is, or I can put it back into the pot by itself and add some kind of sweetener and cook it down into a syrup. So I've already done that with another batch, and I've got a nice syrup here that I can store for later. And another really fun thing to do with them is to actually make a tincture. So this is a medicinal thing. This is taking a tincture. It's sold commercially as Sambucol, and very good for viral and flu infections. So I let this sit. I let my berries sit in brandy for at least 6 weeks. Then I strain off the berries and bottle it. Another thing that I've done is taken some of the elderflowers and put them into brandy. You can also use vodka or Everclear. Those are kind of the preferred alcohols to use when tincturing. And again, letting this sit for 6 weeks, straining it off. And the final thing that I've done is to actually put some of the flowers into olive oil, and I'm going to make a salve. I'll strain out the plant material after 6 weeks and then mix it with some beeswax and a couple other things to make a really nice face cream. So I'm also going to dry some of my berries so that I can store them for long term, and yeah, enjoy. And I'll have these different elderberry products for the rest of the year. So get out there and get out harvesting. It's really a